One of the best things I've added to my home is a smart lock. I haven't carried keys around for the past couple years, and I love that my kids can easily get into the house. They can enter a code or use a fingerprint. It's been great. Now, the problem though with most smart locks is that they require you to swap out the whole lock, which can be a pain, especially if you're renting. You have to take out the whole lock, replace the keys, and you may have a lock that doesn't even look good on the outside, but you don't have to deal with any of that with the SwitchBot Lock Pro. Instead, you can take the knob off that's on the inside of your door and replace it with this. And you have a smart lock that you can continue to use the same keys with. You have the same look on the outside of your house. You can open it with an app. You can use your voice. You can use fingerprints and codes and like a bunch of other ways. Now, this video is sponsored by SwitchBot. It is not a review. I have not used this thing long enough for that. This is just going to be a walkthrough of what all this lock can do. Now, if you're not familiar with SwitchBot, they started off making a bunch of devices that help automate things you already have, like the SwitchBot bot that can be placed on devices and press buttons for you. There's the SwitchBot curtains that can automate curtains you already have. You can automate your blinds with the SwitchBot blind tilt. And one of their recent additions is the SwitchBot mini vacuum that we've been using for a while. Now, before we look at the SwitchBot Lock Pro, I want to talk about a couple of the benefits of going with a smart lock. First, there's the convenience of not having to carry around keys. Instead, being able to just use a fingerprint or enter a code. There's the ability to be able to unlock or lock your lock from anywhere that you're at. So if you do leave the house and you're worried that you left the front door open, you can open up an app and check on it. If for some reason you need to let someone into your house and they don't have a key, you can open the door for them. That leads to custom codes that each family member can have, or temporary codes that you can give somebody if they're house sitting, or if you have a vacation rental, you can have a temporary code and then reset it once the person is gone. Another big benefit is the integration with other smart home devices. You can use your lock so that when you unlock the front door, it triggers an automation to bring up some lights. The SwitchBot Lock Pro is available in the US for $119.99. You can also get it in Europe and the UK for $139.99. You'll be able to use it in countries such as US, Canada, UK, Germany, Netherlands, France, Italy, and Spain. I'll put links in the description so you can check it out. You can also visit their site for the compatibility checker there too, and check out the other products I mentioned earlier. Now, one of the biggest benefits of going with the SwitchBot Lock Pro is how easy it is to install. All you do is undo these two screws on your existing lock, you pull this off, you put the mounting plate on, you snap it into place, and there are 4 Allen screws that you tighten onto. Installation of this is really easy. It takes about 5 minutes to do, and you don't need to really have any DIY skills. You do need a screwdriver so that you can remove the 2 screws of this. Now, before you do install this and before you even buy this, you should go to SwitchBot's website and check their compatibility tool to make sure it will work with your lock. After it's installed, you go into the app and you just follow the directions to walk through the calibration. Now, a big thing with smart locks is that the bolt needs to move smoothly with no resistance, which in my case, a long time ago, I had to modify mine so that when I shut my door, there was no pressure on the bolt. If there's pressure on the bolt, the little motors in these smart locks aren't going to be able to turn it. So if you need to put any pressure on the door, you're going to need to make some adjustments so that that pressure is removed from the lock. If not, you will struggle with any kind of smart lock. Now, after it's installed, to start using the lock right off the bat, you got the manual. Same manual options, you got the key outside, good to go. So as you learn about the lock, you can just keep using your regular key, or you pair it up with one of the keypads. This opens up a bunch of different options. With the keypad, you can do these temporary codes, you can do permanent codes for the family members. What's nice with the different codes for each person is you can actually check out the logs of when people have come and gone. So if you want to know if a particular person is home, you you can look in the app and see, yes, the kids are at home now. So that's convenient. The fingerprint sensor is great. You can save up to 100 different fingerprints, and it takes 0.3 seconds for it to recognize, which is really quick. So what I've done is, for each of my family members, I've done a right fingerprint and a left fingerprint. So no matter which way you're carrying something and come in, you can unlock the lock. Now with the keypad, when you're walking out, you can push the little lock button and it locks the door behind you. One of the things I like about the separate keypad is that it doesn't have to go where the lock is. You don't end up with something on the outside with a whole keypad and key built in. Instead, you can have your normal looking lock and you can place this off to the side. You have flexibility on mounting this with either the bracket using screws and mounting it into wood or metal using this and then sliding it on, or you could take advantage of the double stick tape and mount it on to glass if you want, or any other surface, and not have to worry about it being a permanent mounting. They actually send this little piece of tape that you could put on as a little protective tape and then mount onto it so you don't damage the surface you're mounting on, which is great if you're renting and want to have a smart lock. The SwitchBot Lock Pro is powered by 4 AA batteries that come with the lock. They're mounted into this little case, and then that just pops right in and then locks into place. I'm gonna leave it out so it doesn't power it up now. Once it locks into place, this is held on with magnets. It's good to go. These batteries will last you between 6 to 9 months with regular use. Another option to power the lock is take advantage of the dual power pack, which is 2 little batteries. There's an A and a B battery. Each of them are charged individually with USB-Cs. And the way this works is that it will use up the power from one battery first and then switch over to the other one. You'll get a notification that the battery needs change. You can pop out the A battery, charge it, and this will still keep power to the lock, and then put in a fresh battery, and then when this one needs charge, pop that out, charge it up, and you have continuous power. Now if you use just these 2 until they run out, you can get up to a year's worth of power off fully charged batteries. No matter what batteries you use, when the batteries get low, you'll get a notification in the app. That way you're not surprised with dead batteries at any point. You're able to control the lock using your smartphone over Bluetooth. Now, if you want to control it with smart assistants such as Google, Amazon, or Apple, you do need to pair this with a hub. And in order to connect it to Apple devices, you need to get the Hub 2 Mini. The new Hub 2 Mini supports Matter, which opens it up to all the smart assistants. Once you have it paired to the hub and you enable cloud services under settings, you're able to connect it to Echoes by going in and downloading the Alexa skill for SwitchBot devices, and you're able to connect it with Apple Home by going through the Matter setup. Now to check out the SwitchBot Hub Mini 2 and the keypad, I'll put the links down in the description. There are options down there to get the 3 of them bundled together to save some money. There are 15 different ways to unlock this lock. Old school, it's going to be using that key. Next is going to be using the fingerprint sensor, because it is really fast. After that, I would say is probably the touch code. You do have the option to lock or unlock by pressing the button in the middle, which uses a feature called Quick Key. If it's locked, you press it, it'll unlock. If it's unlocked, you press it, it'll go to the lock position. And I talked about earlier the different passcodes. You can set up emergency passcodes, permanent passcodes, and temporary passcodes. Now you have the remote unlocking option by using the app, so anywhere you're at. I can even unlock it from my Apple Watch using the Apple Home app or the SwitchBot app. However, it doesn't support Apple's Home Key. You can also open it within the Alexa app or Apple's Home app or Google Home app. Another option that's included is the NFC card. You can program this up, so walk right up, place the card next to the keypad, and it unlocks. You can also take advantage of the auto locking option. So if you do leave and it notices after a certain period of time that the door's been closed without it being locked, it can lock it for you. Now, one of the great things about having your smart lock integrated with your smart home is taking advantage of using voice to lock your door to make sure it's locked, or write it into scenes such as my goodnight scene. As I'm walking up the stairs, I press the button and it turns off the lights and it locks the front doors. Or you can work it into automation so that when you unlock the front door, it turns on some lights for you. Now, if you want to take advantage of some other automation ideas and options, you can go into the SwitchBot app and use the integration with their other devices. I think a smart lock is a must-have these days, even if you want to use keys all the time. It's nice to have the option so you're not tied to keys. Maybe you just want to go for a walk. You don't want to carry the keys around. Use the smart options there. Maybe you lost your keys somewhere. You're not locked out of your house. And the great thing about the SwitchBot Lock Pro is that anyone can install it without replacing the whole lock, getting new keys, or changing the look of stuff, which again is perfect for renters. Now, check it out. Links are down in the description. You can see this along with the other SwitchBot devices. You can also find the Keypad and the Hub Mini there too. Next, you need to check out this video over here to see the SwitchBot Mini robot vacuum. I have a 100-pound dog and it's been able to keep up with it. We're still using this thing like 6 months later at the time of recording this. But anyways, I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Bye.